Hey, buddy. Good morning. You're gonna get a kick out of this one. I'm just calling it the meditation of traffic, and I think that you'll really laugh because you know my proclivity for traffic rage. But I want to start with a share that somebody made in a meeting just a couple days ago, and it really got. I realized something, and they were sharing about. Being in a fender bender, they backed into somebody and they looked around and nobody was around, and so they just drove off. This is the short version of the story. And then they were just consumed with guilt, and then they just sat at home thinking, oh my God, what have I done? How am I going to tell my sponsor about this? I feel crazy. I need to drink. Like, just the way that the thought can immediately come in at the solution that I need to use, or I need to drink, or I need to do something to deal with this inner turmoil that I've created by not being honest with myself, and not being in integrity in a way that feels like, I won't. I don't even need to go into that part of it, but she ended up going back to wherever the car accident was and going and knocking on people's doors and then finding the people. And it turns out they were really, really nice. And they were like, yeah, that's our car. And oh, that's so sorry that happened. And she drove away from the thing feeling really fantastic because she had done the right thing and gone back, and, the whole integrity kind of conversation. So what I realized is, like, the same way that I would accidentally forget to ring up the vinegar in the self-checkout. Uh, and then my, like, recovery brain is like, I need to go back and take care of that, because if I don't, it's just going to be this little thing that's gnawing at me, and I'm going to carry it around, and it's not going to go away. And those, like, little monkeys on your back, they just add up and add up and add up and add up and add up. And this is what I realized about the way that I use traffic. Because, like, even back in the self-checkout analogy, I could say, oh, to hell with them. They charge so much money anyway. It doesn't matter. And plus, inflation, I'm fine. It's okay. Nobody's losing. Okay, they're getting their money and everything is okay. Well, that's some delusional story that I'm going to make up in my head to justify this wretched feeling inside that I have, because I didn't act in a way that, in honesty and with principles, and I acted in a way that was totally about me and self-centered. Okay, so here we come to the traffic. I think that really what I do in traffic is like a bunch of self-checkout debauchery. And really what I mean is that when I'm in traffic, I think that since I'm such a great driver and have such amazing situational awareness, and I'm always thinking about the bigger picture, I'm looking out for the flow of all of us. I have this delusional stories about how great I am and how the rules apply to you, but not to me. And it's 6 a.m. I'm not going to make a complete stop at that stop sign. That's stupid. Why would I do that? That's just one little example of how I can take something, reality, a rule, you stop at a stop sign, and then I can build a construct around it. We call it delusion, psychosis. People don't want to be psychotic, so they call it magical thinking, because people would rather be magical. I get it. But what I discovered is that when I continuously decide that I'm better than the rules, the system, like, I am held to a different standard than you. Okay, that's really what it is. And so in traffic, I'm wanting to do it my way, and that only works if you follow the rules, because I need to know kind of what you're doing so that I can navigate around you. And then I run into other people that are trying to navigate around everyone, and then we bump up against each other, and we aren't happy about it, and then conflict. So here comes the tension. And when I get out in traffic and I start driving in a way, hey, it doesn't matter that the speed limit is 70, because I can go 90 right through here because there's nowhere for a cop to hide. Like, I got this down. I know how this works. Um, those are the same feelings. I get out of the car and then I go try to live my life afterwards. But I just have this anxiety and this tension and this thing I can't shake and I don't know what it is. And it's like a monkey on my back. The same way that gal crashed that car and then tried to run away and run home and sat at home knowing exactly what was eating at her. And so she knew what to go do about it. I feel like traffic for me is like a bunch of little little microcosms of that. Just like these little moments where I decide, hey, I'm the most important thing here, and I'm God in this moment, and y'all need to be doing what I think. Like, if you could just do what I said you should do, then we can both be happy. And traffic almost has to be. Now, this is for me, okay? This is my personal experience here, but I have to treat it like a meditation. I have to go into traffic with intention, and I have to say, I am calm and centered and inside of me right now, and I'm going to stay that way. Nothing outside here is going to rob that from me. I suck at this, but at least there is a beginning of an awareness of it. There's like I can see something that I just didn't see at all. I knew that I had traffic problems. I knew that I should probably be happier in traffic or something. I should be more like my wife because she seems to do okay and not have the problems that I do in traffic. But it came down to this idea that it isn't even the way I behave in traffic is about traffic, but it was impacting my life in a much bigger way. Because I was stepping out of that car and I was bringing that same juju with me, that same anxious, irritable, just wound up tight self-righteousness. I brought that into, if I was headed home, I brought it into the house with me. If I was headed to work, I brought it there. And it was a cloud that kind of followed me around. And so if I can make a decision or intent to try to stay, whatever it is, centered, clear, inside, balanced, in connection as I go into traffic, then it has a real impact on my whole life. I was going to say on my day, but it's more than just that. And it's another opportunity for me to see a challenge or a struggle in my life and use it to get closer to God and to get more connected to my higher power, to use it as like a training exercise in seeing the opportunity like everywhere all the time to do that. Anyway, I sure love you.